Hey, Catherine, how you doing? I was just reading through your writing here, and it sounds like you spent some time on this, and that's fantastic. That's the only way to learn Photoshop is to spend hours and hours and hours experimenting and trying different things and different configurations, different techniques, etc. And I can still remember my first days learning Photoshop. I remember just working hours on end, trying different techniques and things, it's really refreshing to see that you're doing the same thing. As I said, it's the only way to learn Photoshop. So. Um, Everything else will make good sense. It sounds like you had trouble with the font. So let's jump over to the announcements area because you're not the first person that had indicated they were having difficulty with the font. So what I did is I went over to the announcements area and I amended this announcement, or I should say adjusted this announcement. It was the one that said um, it was the image site sources, and I also added production credit fonts to that. So if you pop that open, you can see here regarding the use of recommended fonts in the production credits of the cinematic poster. Here's some resources to help. So here's how to install fonts on a Mac. Here's how to install fonts on a PC, and here's how to download fonts from DaFont. That's who supplies that font right here. And this is the Week 2 Project 1 Cinematic Poster Part 2 rough composite page. And then right down here, we can see that's the resource. So that should help you to get those fonts installed so that you can use them. Let's go ahead and jump over to your work. I've got your work right here. I see. Let me just download this real quick, and it might be a little bit easier to look at it if we do that. So let's do that. I guess I can go ahead and close that. Okay, I think the post. Where did I go? Oh, here we are. I think the poster actually looks pretty good. It's a great start. Let me just reduce that a little bit. Let's get that in the window. Okay, so your techniques are good. I think that your composite techniques are pretty good. So we've got composited together, we've got the image of the family, the background, and the car, all of which have this cutout of filter to it. And we also have the eyes, the about that, as I was saying. So, and then you also have the drone with the eyes. So I think that the narrative is coming together quite nicely. Um, the silhouette of the uh, I'm not real sure what that is, and the scorpion bring an air of danger into the composite. I think that's good too. So I think really a couple of the main things that I would recommend here is this: I would reduce the size of the whole composition, bring a little bit more black out in the background, and then go ahead and assemble those image credits using those fonts. I think that once you assemble those image credits, it's going to loan a lot of validity to this looking like a movie poster. Try it; you'll see it works like magic. At that point, I would add some sort of a tagline, or a tagline. Like you could even add the stars' names at the top. And this is a tagline right here. And I think the tagline will just describes the plot a little bit, not giving too much away at all, just kind of a little teaser. You know what I mean? And then coming June 4th or something like that with some of those other movie credits like this little July 17th in real 3D. Things like that are really going to bring a lot of validity to the poster itself. So I think it's a good start, definitely. I think the main thing is those image credits. Let's get those production credits down using that font. That's going to definitely help. Um, and then add some additional typography. As far as the composite itself goes, I think it's really done very well. I think it's a great job. Um, One thing you might consider doing is this: is as I think that I would like to see this in a version that doesn't have the cutout filters on the background. I would rather see these as photographs. Um, I think it would add an air of reality to it, which would also loan itself to the kind of mysterious, almost horror genre that we're getting into here. And as opposed to looking like almost like it's going to be an animated film. Do you see what I'm saying? So think about that, and that, of course, all that would entail is removing the cutout filters from the foreground image, the family, the desert, and the automobile, and then maybe even consider actual. Well, actually, I kind of like the silhouettes here. I think they're a little bit too prominent in the composition, maybe a little bit smaller. So. Um, we do have that air of danger associated with the desert. Um, but it's just they're a little bit too large. Right now, they're almost larger than the family itself, which means they're taking on a position of hierarchy that supersedes the family. So what this is saying by scale is that these are more important to the plot than the family, and we know that's not going to end up being true, right? So let's reduce that size, or even think about a reconfiguring something, how we can, in some way, how we can introduce these menacing creatures to the composition without obstructing the hierarchy of the plot, as it were, or the main characters, I should say. Okay, other than that, I think it's really a great start. I think it's a fantastic start. I think it really is. Your writing sounds almost like you're a little bit frustrated. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think that's a good thing. That shows that you're working and you're experimenting. And again, boy, I still remember those early days of Photoshop. I used to get so frustrated, but I really, really worked through it. Spent a lot of hours experimenting in Photoshop. I mean, for many, many months and years, I did a lot of experimentation in Photoshop to get myself to the point where I would be considered to be an expert Photoshop user. So again, it's a matter of time, Catherine. That's all it is. It's just a matter of time and experimentation. So I think this is really, really outstanding as far as the start goes. So good job. Be proud here. Good work. Definitely want to see those production credits in place using that font. I think it's really going to make a big difference. Okay. All right. Fantastic. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you for sharing your